All right, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? How is everyone doing? It is Saturday, which is weird. It's really weird to be watching a WWE pay-per-view on a Saturday, but here we are. You'll have to let me know what you guys thought about SummerSlam down in the chat here. Rough start. Very, 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 very rough start at the beginning of the show. But the end, ooh, the end, man. We got some things to talk about, and we're going to talk about them at the very start of the show. We're not going to wait until the end. We're just going to pop it right off. But before we get there, thank you so much, Ashton, man. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for the $5 Canadian super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. Thank you so much. Super chats and memberships are not required, but they are there if you want to take that extra step to help support the channel. The memberships button is somewhere probably like right there. somewhere if you want to join and become a disciple, I believe is what I have it labeled. So thank you so much, my friend. I don't have some woos. I don't have them on my soundboard right now, but infinite woos for you, man. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, now get into the show. Get into the show, right? Brock Lesnar, he's returned. And not only has Brock Lesnar returned, he's got the beard. He's got the beard, baby. Bearded Brock Lesnar is here. He's back. And not only that, but he's got the samurai man bun thing going on top as well. Man, it's all I could ever ask for. It is all I could ever ask for. It's amazing. I'm super excited about it. You know what? I should actually kind of I think I can do this. This will be a little bit better, right? Yeah, let me see if I can move this stuff around. But yeah, man. Oh, I'm so excited. I've been dying to see bearded Brock Lesnar in WWE, and he's finally here. He is finally here. He's finally come. But you know what? The only thing, okay, there's some positives. There's some negatives here. All right. Here's Brocky. Interested to face Brock. Yes. Which is very interesting. Very interesting for sure. We got face Brock taking on heel Roman Reigns, right? So that's interesting enough in itself right there, right? But on top of that, on top of all of that, Roman Reigns has Paul Heyman. Brock Lesnar, no Paul Heyman. So I'm very curious to see how that dynamic is going to work. I don't quite understand. I'm definitely interested in it, but one of the bigger negatives of everything is that we've been dying to see Brock Lesnar come back to WWE, but not for Roman. We wanted him to come back for Bobby Lashley. So what's going on with that? That kind of sucks. That kind of sucks. And you know, it seems like the feud between Bobby Lashley and Goldberg is not quite over yet, which is sad because it's probably going to happen at Crown Jewel, man. And I swear we're going to talk about this, but if Goldberg wins the World Championship, the WWE Championship at Crown Jewel, man, it's going to be sad noises for me, man. It's going to be sad noises. Yep. It's got to be happening. Paul Heyman custody match. Paul Heyman on a pole. I got to open up this drink here. My throat is dry as hell, man. He probably got extra. They're probably paying extra for that sweet Saudi money, man. Get you an extra match out of Gold. I mean, it's already happening. Like there's no way that it's not with what we saw with him beating up his kid and then him being like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you." Like, bro, that's not over. That's not over. No. Lesnar's gonna talk. Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. Brock destroyed Cena after SummerSlam. That's awesome. That's cool. I mean, I haven't been on social media at all. I haven't been on there at all. I have been I've been doing these watch alongs. I hope you guys liked them. I'm not sure how many people were there and are here now, but thank you guys so much for tuning into the watch alongs. It's been a lot of fun. We did a watch along for SmackDown and Rampage last night, and then we did one for the entirety of SummerSlam today, not the pre-show, but I'm going to do another one for NXT TakeOver 36 tomorrow. I'm not sure if watch alongs are going to continue or not. Maybe for some things, but I don't know. Maybe we'll do them for WWE pay-per-views. Maybe that something a little interesting going forward. I don't know. Just change it up a little bit. He won't have Paul to say something stupid for him anymore. Yeah, he's gonna have to talk for himself, which is gonna be very interesting. You missed you missed the watch along. The super chat was your way of apologizing. Well, thank you so much, man. No need to apologize. No need to apologize. I do appreciate your super chat though. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you. Thank you all for your time, man. Hanging out with me. There we had a lot of people tune in for Rampage and SmackDown and all that. It was a blast. It's a crazy weekend and we got one more night ahead of us. NXT TakeOver 36 is tomorrow. Lots of good matches on that. So like I said, there will be a watch along on that on the gaming channel, youtube.com/Phantom Spec, and it's a 0, not a no. And then, of course, we'll be here for a post show as well. I plan to keep it around an hour today and an hour tomorrow as well, as long as we have some stuff to talk about. So it says pros, all the men stuff, cons, all the women stuff. Yeah, man, we got some stuff to talk about tonight's show, man. Tonight's show wasn't it? Let me get my account up, because I don't be taking notes or nothing like that. What I do for these post shows is I just kind of talk about, I just look at the pictures that I posted and I just talk about my thoughts from them. So that's what we're going to do on that. Marcel says, people really trying to say that Brock's return was bigger than Punk's. No way. Brock and Becky's return does not even get anywhere near to what CM Punk did yesterday on Rampage. There's no way. Justice for Bianca Belair. Yeah, dude. That is something that I want to talk about in depth tonight as well, because I find that stuff to be really annoying. Really annoying. Okay. Clip says, in my opinion, Cena versus Reigns was not that great. We just go AA and Superman punch party in a single spear. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. The last two matches were pretty much all I was looking forward to, and those were the ones that delivered to me. Bibba says, the fact that I got all of my men's predictions right and women's wrong says something about how horribly booked the women's division is. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone could have probably booked or predicted that Sasha Banks wouldn't be there, and that Becky Lynch would be squashing Bianca Belair. You'd have to be pretty crazy to think of that. Manish, thank you so much, my friend, for the 100 rupees. I appreciate you. Let me get some money falling for you. And like I said, I apologize. I don't have some woos. Hopefully I'll have them tomorrow or something like that. But man, it's taking me forever. I'm working on the Authors of Wrestling website right now. And we'll talk about that probably sometime next week, but I'm trying to fill out a bunch of content and all that stuff. So, thank you so much, man, for your support. I appreciate you. 1 million woos towards you. Thank you so much for your support, man. I appreciate you. Oh, and you know what? Manish and Ashton, you know what? You guys are headed to the moon. There you go. I got that at least. Told you Brock is coming back for that Saudi money. Yep. Good call on that one, man. Bianca got buried by Becky. It's interesting. It's interesting. Okay, here's how we're gonna do things, I think, tonight. Let's talk about, I guess we could talk about the things that people want to talk about first, right? Let's talk about Brock. Then we'll go through it and we'll talk about maybe Goldberg briefly, and then we'll talk about Edge and Rollins, and then we'll talk about Becky, and then we'll talk about the other nonsense that took place on this card that was completely unnecessary. This show, like, if main roster, I'll say this before we get started. If main roster WWE took a play out of NXT's book and they had short pay-per-views, this show could have been incredible. If it was just Seth and Edge, the women's triple threat match, Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg, and Roman Reigns versus John Cena, this show would have been great. And actually, you know what? You can keep Damian Priest and Sheamus on here too. Keep those on here. Hell yeah, that would have been cool. I would have been with it. Brock babyface, yeah, it sounds like it, man. To have the champ lose in 10 seconds is pathetic. Yeah, I don't think that any champion should be getting squashed like that. Unless you're like building up something crazy and like that person is just going to be massive, then it makes sense. Like, I can totally roll with that. That I can understand. But to have someone who you've been trying to build up this entire time in with Bianca Belair, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't get it. They Kofi'd Bianca. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't understand why they put so much time and stuff in her. They wanted Bianca to do a segment tonight with Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B, I think, but it didn't end up happening. And like, so how do you go from that to getting squashed in 25 seconds? Like, that's crazy to me, dude. That's so crazy. Does Brock defeat Roman? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Do I think Bianca turns heel? Maybe. I could see that. You got in late, so I'm not sure if you covered this, but Edge vs. Rollins was crazy. No, I haven't covered it yet. We're going to kind of go backwards. I think we're going to go backwards because everyone's hot for Brock Lesnar coming back and stuff. So we'll start there. We'll work our way backwards because the rest of the show wasn't that great. I'm sad that I had to remake my thumbnail because I thought it was really good. Who's going to be Roman? I don't know, man. I don't know. It could be Finn Balor maybe at some point. I don't know. Bianca in the bloodline? Nah, that wouldn't fit. She's not family. Raven says Sasha and Belair should have had their big match, and then Becky should have came out. So there's something going on. During the, like a couple days ago or whatever it was, there was a show that WWE did, a house show. And Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair were supposed to be there. Neither one of them were there for 2 shows that they were advertised for. So people kind of knew that something was going on, and then it just didn't happen. And that's something that I want to talk about when we get to that, is advertising that match up until the match happening, damn well knowing that it's not even going to happen, which is crazy. Naomi beats Becky soon. Ooh, yeah. Put Naomi in the bloodline. Like, what the hell? I don't understand why they haven't done that yet. Big E cashes in on Roman or Bobby. Bobby, I would say. I wouldn't have Roman lose the championship anytime soon, especially because I think I'm still kind of holding out and hoping that we're going to see The Rock versus Roman Reigns at a WrestleMania or something like that. I would love to see that. So hopefully they end up getting that at some point. Heyman about to turn his back on Roman. That would be kind of interesting. I don't know, man. I guess we'll see. Sasha is backstage at SummerSlam. She was not there. She's not there. She was not there tonight, from what I understand. Sasha Banks was not even in the building. And I don't think that she was at SmackDown yesterday either. I don't think she was in either of them. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about this Brock Lesnar thing really quick, because we're already almost 20 minutes in, which is crazy. Will I be tuning into Raw tomorrow? No. Absolutely not. I will not be watching Monday Night Raw tomorrow. Or on Monday. Sorry, on Monday. No, I will not. I'm going to enjoy NXT on Sunday, and then I'm going to take a break on Monday, and then we'll kind of see what happens with NXT and make some adjustments and see if it's worth continuing going forward or not with NXT, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, no, definitely no Raw. Nope, no Raw. Brock returns, gets title shot. Yeah, I mean that's just how it be, man. That's how it be here in the WWE. All right, so let's talk about this. We'll talk about the match first. All right. I don't know about you guys, but I enjoyed Roman Reigns and John Cena. I know a couple of people I saw in chat were saying it was just a standard John Cena match where he gets beat up and then he gets a little bit of offense off. You know, it's cool. I don't mind it. I like this match. This is one of the ones that I was looking forward to. And to me, I said this during the watch along while we were talking about it, or while we were watching the match, is that this match felt like desperation to me. And that's kind of why I liked the parts about it. John Cena, you know, he wants that 17, desperately trying to get that 17th championship win. He's trying to roll up attempts on Roman, trying to get those cheap wins, as fast as possible, trying to get that win over him. The AA didn't cut it. The AA through the commentary table didn't cut it. The Avalanche AA didn't cut it. He was even going to try to do a spear. He was going to try to hit this man's with his own move. The desperation. So I really like that aspect of the match. And I'm not sure if that's something that they did intentionally, or that's just something that I'm picking up on, or maybe I'm just crazy and I'm making it all up. I don't know, but that's my thoughts on that, and I enjoyed that aspect of it. I'm not surprised if Roman Reigns retained by any means. You may have tried to convince me that something was going to happen if that stipulation wasn't on the line, where Roman Reigns would leave WWE if he lost. That was it, like right there. That just sealed the deal. For me, I was already 100% on Reigns retaining. You add that in there, and there's no way. Maybe if they would have said SmackDown instead, or they would have been more generic instead of being specific and saying WWE as a whole. Like I said, you could have convinced me, but leaving WWE, they're gonna take the hottest thing that they have, the thing that people have been praising for almost an entire year, and they're gonna get rid of it to give it to someone who legit said that I'm gonna take your world championship and take it to Hollywood, and I'm not gonna come back to WrestleMania. No, it's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. So I'm not surprised that Roman Reigns got the win. I'm happy. I'm glad that the Usos got sent to the back, and this was a clean match. No shenanigans. Nothing happened. This was a main event match to me. I enjoyed it. So Roman Reigns wins, holding his championship high above his head, and then all of a sudden, the Beast incarnate, his music starts hitting. Brock Lesnar is here. This man comes out He's got the beard. He's got the beard, man. I've been waiting for bearded Brock Lesnar for so long. And not only that, he's got the samurai ponytail. What more could you ask for? What more could you ask for? This man's is here to whoop some ass. And I'm very excited about it. Very excited. If you weren't able to catch the show, I mean, I guess you could tell by the thumbnail when you clicked on this video if you did. If not, they're all over my Instagram. And if you haven't seen any of that, he looks exactly the same as when everyone was posting those pictures of him when he was at that like meat cutting class or whatever the hell it was that he was doing. So yeah, I'm super excited to see him back. Face Brock Lesnar, heel Roman Reigns. Interesting dynamic. No Paul Heyman for Brock Lesnar. Paul Heyman for Roman Reigns. Very interesting dynamic we're going to have here. And it's been quite a while since we've seen Brock Lesnar speak on the mic. So that's going to be interesting to see as well. And, you know, I'll get to chat in just a second as well. But I want to say that I'm a little disappointed because I still want to see Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar. And I hope that this doesn't like ruin that whatsoever, because I still want to see that. I think that now is the time. Brock Lesnar, we have bearded Brock Lesnar. Like I can't get over that enough. Like I cannot tell you how excited I am that bearded Brock Lesnar is here. I've been wanting this for so long. So like Bobby Lashley is in his prime to me in his current WWE run, and we got the bearded man's here. Like everything's here. Just put them together. So hopefully, you know what's probably going to happen is Bobby and are going to work this Crown Jewel event, and probably Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns are going to work this Crown Jewel event, and then hopefully afterwards, Brock will go to Raw and challenge Bobby Lashley. So okay, so let's get to chat. John will win the 17-time championship. It would be crazy. Like I wonder if him winning is actually something they're considering. Especially since Ric Flair, you know, he asked for his release. Like, are they ever going to pull the trigger on someone winning 17 championships? I mean, it has to be John Cena if they do it, right? It has to be. Punk says, Goldberg versus Bobby at the Saudi show. Yep. AEW CM Punk returns. WWE Brock and Becky return. Yeah, and from what I understand, these were planned already. So they were not a response to CM Punk debuting. They were just, this was going to happen regardless. So Cena, Orton, or Charlotte. Man, I hope it's not Charlotte. I can't believe they gave her the championship again. Like, come on, man. Jan, read your comment. Let me see. See if I can find it. I'd be scrolling up, man. I'd be scrolling up. I'm not seeing it, man. I'm not seeing it. Philip, how's it going, my friend? Says, hello, guys. I'm so excited you're going to be WWE coming back to normal, and Edge is here. I'm proud of them. 47. Yeah, I like that Edge match. It was good. I'm trying to find your post, man. I'm not seeing it, though. Not seeing it. Feel free to just comment it again, because I'm not seeing it. Marcel says, when Goldberg's match was 4 times as long as Bianca's, that's crazy, dude. That's so crazy. Brock Lesnar, next WWE Universal Champion. You really think so? Really think so? You know, maybe what they could do, maybe they could do the unthinkable, and they could have Brock take the title off of Roman and then put Roman on Raw. But is that really something that you want to do? Does anyone actually think that Roman Reigns could increase the viewership for Raw? Or is that show just destined to fail going forward? The 3-hour format just doesn't work. And I don't know if even Roman can save that. I don't know. Bibba says they made a superhero give up. That's not how you make new stars. At least have Rhea take the pin and have Nikki eligible for a rematch. Yeah, you would think, right? All of that stuff with Nikki, ASH, Nikki Ash, whatever. It's weird. I don't get it. I don't get any of it. Roman beats Brock and then Rock at Mania, and then they wasted every legend available. They put someone new over. I'm down for that. I'm down for that. I mean, they could still do The Rock for the WWE Championship instead of the Universal. Jan, dude, I'm not seeing your comment. I don't see it. I see you saying to read your comment, but I don't see it. I don't actually see it on here. I don't know if maybe you're like posting a link or something and it's getting deleted before it gets on here, but I'm not seeing it. Do you think The Undertaker will come back? No, I don't. Love The Undertaker. Rest in peace, man. Your dad called her Nikki ass. I called her that earlier. Man, it's sad because I like Nikki Cross. But I've been seeing people call her Nikki Trash. It's crazy. Lost with a single spear, yep. Which is kind of crazy after, you had John Cena spam his finisher. How would you book Reigns to lose to Lesnar? I mean, I wouldn't do this match. I wouldn't do Lesnar and Reigns. At least not right now. I'd put Lesnar and Lashley together. The people don't need another gold match. They don't. And while this one was somewhat enjoyable, I don't think it needs to be ran back. It doesn't. Is Cena done for now? I'm actually not sure if this was his last date. I'm not sure. I'll have to check at some point. Make sure you're in live chat instead of top chat. Oh. Wait, what? Wait, hold on a second. Oh, weird. When did that become a thing? Bro, I did not know that was a thing. My apologies. That's crazy. I didn't know. I thought it was... I was in top chat. I didn't know there... I didn't know there was a such thing as all chat. That's crazy. Okay, so Ayan says, so when Brock came, Michael Cole said, "Holy shit," and Pat McAfee was like, "Hey, say Cole, now you can see it." Amazing. I didn't catch that. I was too excited. I think I was yelling about bearded Brock Lesnar. But God, now I can't even. Oh, Bibba, thank you, man. I did not know that there was a live chat. Why would you want to be in top? I mean, I guess if you were really popular and you had like hundreds of viewers or like thousands of viewers, you probably just switch it to top chat. But crazy. USA about to pull the plug on NXT because it didn't give them any stars on Raw. Yeah, that is kind of crazy. Oh yeah, Becky too. That's crazy. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see if they're mad, especially with everything else going on. AJ says no, Brock beats Roman and then for Survivor Series against Bobby Lashley. Title versus title match. Although, oh wait. Survivor Series, you could just do a battle. Yeah, but that's a really good, that's a really good thing to do. But then the problem is that you have to take the championship off of Roman, which is very difficult. I don't think it should be done. I don't. But WWE Champion Lashley versus Universal Champion Lesnar at Survivor Series has a nice ring to it. I just don't know how you get there. I don't know how you get there. Top chat is default and they try to filter out bots, but live chat doesn't. Oh, well, good to know. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. I never knew that. So I apologize if you've been typing things and I haven't seen them because they just don't show up. I didn't know that. Learn something new every day, right? He has more dates, probably going to feud with Balor. They've been teasing it. Ooh, okay. I'm not mad at that. I would love to see a Finn Balor John Cena feud. I'm cool with that. The Rock will return at Survivor Series 25-year anniversary, and they'll plant the seeds for their Mania match. I'm down for that. I really, really, really want to see The Rock versus Roman Reigns. I do. The ultimate head of the table. Why did Cena lose? Cena can't win, man. Can't win. You can't break that 16-time record. I'm surprised they even tied it, if I'm being honest with you. Philip, everyone, can you finish when people on the day in their head? He looks short. I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean. AJ says Becky versus Bianca went faster than Brock versus Gold. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. Crazy. Gold kept botching the cells for the spears, kept flipping on his head. Yeah, I'm really confused. Were those supposed to be spears? Or was he just trying to take out the leg? That's what I'm not sure. Like, was he just trying to take out the leg and like bring him down? It was Myra says it was a leg chop. Okay, that's what I was thinking as well, but I wasn't sure. I was so confused because they looked rough. Looked rough. Chop blocks. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so but yeah. Anyways, I'm very excited for Brock Lesnar to be back. You know, it's kind of weird and it's actually kind of funny, where we are, because if we go back, what was this? 2 years ago? 2 years ago at this point, we were in a space where Brock Lesnar was Universal Champion or WWE Champion, whatever the hell it was. At that time, he was the champion, and they were trying to get Roman Reigns over, and they created this entire narrative where I think it was Roman that said it, right? Where he was like, "Look, Brock Lesnar doesn't even show up to work. He doesn't do this. He's not making the dates. He's just a part timer. He's not doing all this other stuff." And like, it was an attempt to, I don't want to say bury because that's not the right word, but it was a way to like, I'm just going to use it and you can just know that I'm not meaning it in that exact context, but it was in a way to like bury Lesnar out of being more popular than Reigns, and to elevate Reigns to be popular and to get him to that position that he's in now. And it didn't work. So essentially what they did was they buried Lesnar and the crowd still hated Roman Reigns. So no one got anything. And that feud did nothing for anyone. And now here we are. Roles are kind of reversed. Roman Reigns is the best heel in all of WWE right now. And people have been dying to see Brock Lesnar come back. And he's finally here. And they're going to reignite the feud with Roman Reigns. I'm down. I'm down for it, surprisingly. I think it's good. I'm excited for it. I'm very excited for it. He was Universal Champ then. Pretty sure that was his 500 plus day reign. That's crazy, dude. That is crazy. JBO says, did they forget about Balor unless they're saving him for Roman for Crown Jewel? Someone said that Cena's going to stick around and they might feud Finn with Cena. That'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool. Let's talk about Rollins and Edge. Sure. Yeah, let's move on. Osiris says, Lesnar looks so badass. Damn it, Vince. Give me bearded Brock with the Viking Raiders. Yeah. Yeah. That'd be cool. I would at least like to see them like together. That'd be cool. Can we talk about Becky's return? We will. We will. Okay, so I think we got everything out of the way for Brock Lesnar, right? Let's go ahead. Let's move down. Let's move down a little bit. We'll talk about Edge. Brock attacks Cena off the air. Yeah. Okay, so Seth Rollins comes out. An ungodly long entrance, by the way. I don't really understand why. And then afterwards, we get blessed. Oh, yes. Blessed with the Brood theme music. And not only that, more importantly, they did the fire gimmick. They did it all. It did it all. It was so good. Like one of my favorite entrances from back in the day, one of my favorite theme songs of all time. They brought it back for Edge and it was amazing. It was a really cool moment. The only thing that I don't understand is that, so they had the Brood theme song. They had Edge come out of the flames with the elevator and everything. Like they nailed it from back in the day. He comes down. They had him on like some sort of elevated thing, and he walked down some stairs. When he did it, he did like the whole slouch over thing, you know, like before he does the gimmick right there. And when he bent over, they turned off all the lights and the music, and then he did his thing, and then they played the Edge theme song. I don't really know why that was necessary. I think he should have just came out and did the whole Brood gimmick. He had the glasses on. He had the gear on with the red. Like I think it was perfectly fine. He should have just went all the way through it. That would have been cool for me. Gage is dead. What do you mean? Miss Sasha, is she injured? I have no idea what the deal is with Sasha. I have no idea. The Circle of Fire. Yeah, dude, it's so cool. It's so cool. Show's getting pretty bad reviews online. That's because it wasn't a good show. It was not a good show. Gangrel should have stood in the circle with him. That would have been cool. Brock looks sloppy. I mean, we really didn't even see anything from him. Unless WWE posted that. Rollins had that Undertaker entrance 100%. Yeah. Elvis says, I kind of want Brock to face Father, Joker, Rollins again just because of their new characters. That'd be interesting. Sasha is an anti-vax and maybe she couldn't enter as a result. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case. Isn't it just like, it wasn't that just like some weird rumor because she like followed someone on Instagram or something like that? It was like an account that changed or something too. Like it used to be something and then like over time it like changed to something else or something like that. I don't know. Thoughts on the 2K preview? We'll talk about that. Oh, she liked 2 of their posts. I mean, liking a post doesn't really mean anything. You know, I hate shots. I hate shots. I have like I guess you could call it a fear of needles. Like they just creep me out. Like they don't hurt. Like it doesn't hurt when I get a shot, but like I don't like needles. Like I don't like the thought of a tiny little object like piercing through my skin and like shooting stuff in it. It grosses me out. It creeps me out. And like, I mean, I would like anything that says like a shot sucks or something like that, but I still got the vaccine. I got both of them. Both shots. I mean, I don't really think that leads to anything. Okay, so anyways, back to Edge and Seth Rollins. This match was very slow. Turtle pace. Very, very turtle pace to get started with this match, but it picked up. I enjoyed it. Overall I liked the match. This was one of the matches that I was looking forward to actually watching. That being just this match and the main event of John Cena and Roman Reigns. And I think both of them delivered. I'm not shocked, I guess, but my prediction for Edge and Rollins was Rollins going over, and then they could sort of have this feud with Rollins and Roman Reigns. It looks like they've kind of teased out a little bit from the things that I've seen, so I wouldn't be surprised if they went that way in the future. But obviously now it looks like they're circling back to Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, so I guess it makes sense for Edge to go over. But what does Edge do right now? What does Edge do now? I'm curious to see. I hope that they don't try to do some more Rollins stuff with him, but I'm just not sure where Edge goes. Edge versus Cena, they could do that. But I don't know, man. For me, like I want to see Edge do like dream matches that are unheard of. I would love to see Edge and AJ Styles. AJ Styles is not a tag team champion anymore, so that might be possible. I mean, they're on different brands, but does that? It's WWE, man. Nothing matters in this company. So, moved to Raw feud with AJ. Hey, you nailed it, my friend. Hell yeah. The person to beat Roman is the Hangman, double champ, baby. Hell yeah, Hangman Adam Page for every world champion, belt collector. Edge and Balor, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one too. I like that. Edge should put some other talent over. Yeah. NXT Edge. I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon. It seems like the NXT that we are watching right now is no more. You know, I don't understand like this. Okay, so I got autofocus tuned on, right? So like everywhere I go, it should like focus on me. But if I turn my head a little bit, oh, of course, there it is. It like doesn't. It like loses my face. Can I do it? Like, I don't know. That's weird. Okay. Apparently they are changing the set to make it brighter like main roster. Yeah, so everything for NXT is changing. No more 30-year-old people, supposedly. They want homegrown talent, and they want tall people. No more midgets is the internal word that they used. So take that as you will. I don't know what the height is that they're looking for. Maybe 6 feet or something like that. And then so NXT is no longer in Full Sail. That deal ended. They're not going to be going back to Full Sail. So that's why they've stayed in the Performance Center, and it all comes full circle now. Now we all kind of understand why. And so the next 3 episodes of NXT are going to be taped. And the reason is because they are doing construction in the Performance Center to better the lighting and change the feeling. And I think they're finally getting rid of the plexiglass. Thank God, man, because that stuff was trash. You feel WWE would love Jade Cargill? Yeah, they would for sure. Edge takes time off again. I mean, after coming off of a win, I feel like he should stick around for a little bit, maybe. Brood Edge versus Demon Finn Balor, that'd be cool. I think he has expressed interest in bringing back the Demon. I think. Isn't TakeOver tomorrow going to have a new set? I don't think so. Not to my knowledge. I don't know. Edge to AEW? I don't think Edge needs to go to AEW. Although, man, it would be really cool to see Edge and Christian reunite for a tag team match. That'd be really cool. Edge and Cesaro? Cool, yeah. I'd love to see that. What is Cesaro doing right now on SmackDown? I haven't watched. Edge and Christian versus the Bucks? Yeah, yeah, man. Hell yeah. That'd be cool. Let's see here. Yeah, bring back The Rock for Roman. Hell yeah. That's what I want to see. Yes. CM Punk versus Kenny Omega? Yes, 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 yes. 1,000 times yes. Buddy Matthews? Yes. I can't wait, man. I'm so excited for All Out. I am. I really am. Who do you think has the greatest return of all time, CM Punk or Brock Lesnar? CM Punk. I don't think that any of these are even comparable. They're different, right? Like Brock Lesnar hasn't been missing from the ring. He hasn't been missing from action. Fans haven't been chanting Brock Lesnar during boring parts of wrestling or any of that stuff. Like the CM Punk return is it's a thing of its own. Like it's its own beast. Nowhere near anything of these, and that's not to take anything away from these returns. I think that Brock Lesnar returning is a big deal, and I think that Becky Lynch returning is a big deal, but we're talking about like something completely crazy, not someone that's been missing for a couple months. We're talking about someone who's been missing for almost 8 years or 7 years or whatever it is. So it's crazy. They've been chanting Becky all year. I mean, yeah, they've been chanting Becky during all of Charlotte's stuff. Did I cry when I saw CM Punk back? No, I didn't. We were doing a live watch along. We're doing a watch along stream. Although I did watch it like 10 times. I've seen it a bunch. You think CM Punk should come back to WWE? No. No, I do not. Who will RK Bro face? I have no idea, dude. I don't even know what tag teams are on Raw anymore these days. I have no clue. Okay, so let's talk about Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg here really quickly. This match was actually a lot longer than I had expected. And you know what? Do they have SummerSlam on here? They do. They do. Oh man, they have all of the. Wow, Lashley versus Goldberg went 7 minutes and 10 seconds. That's actually pretty crazy. That's like double, triple what I thought it was gonna go. That's nuts. All right, let's take a look at these match times really quick. Becky Lynch defeats Bianca Belair 25 seconds. Yikes. Alexa Bliss defeats Eva Marie in 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Man, that felt a lot longer than that. Felt like 35 minutes. That's crazy. That is crazy. But you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. Overall, I like this match, and you know what? I didn't see it in the crowd, so I made my own sign. Here it is. This is my SummerSlam sign. You can see it right here. I was repping this whole thing during the match. Everyone's favorite. Go, baby. Hell yeah, let's go. Let's go. You were actually impressed with performance? Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was bad. You just, if they're going to book him, they just have to book him strong. And I think what they did with Drew McIntyre was really good as well. I liked the pace of that match. It was like out of nowhere. If I remember correctly, they had Goldberg go and attack him, right? And that was good. And it was just, you know, it kind of gave you that moment where it's like, oh shit, maybe he could beat him. Like, that's crazy, right? Maybe he could. I didn't really feel that in this match whatsoever. The referee stoppage, you guys have to let me know. What did you guys think about the referee stoppage? Did you like the referee stoppage decision? Do you feel like this will be the question too? It'll be a two-layered question, right? So, did you like the referee stoppage, and do you feel like that is more of a dominant win than choking someone out? To me, I feel like him doing the hurt lock on Goldberg and having him just pass out, I feel like that would have been enough, right? And I really don't think that you had to have MVP hit him in the knee with the cane. I really don't think that was necessary. I mean, we're talking about the world champion, for Christ's sake, right? We're talking about Bobby Lashley, who's been champion for God knows how long and has been booked very dominantly. There's no reason why you need to do the gimmicks, you know? You thought he was legit injured? Yeah, no. I mean, you could tell that he wasn't. You could tell that he wasn't legit injured because of the way that he tried to sell it. Like, first of all, it took him like a good 10 seconds to realize that he'd even been hit with that cane before he sold it. And then it was really weird, like when he was trying to sell the injury on his leg. Like, bro, has no one ever hurt their leg before, right? Like, you hurt your leg or whatever, you can't stand on it, so you stand on one? This dude was trying to stand on both of his feet, and he's standing there on both of them, and then he just falls backwards because his knee hurts on one leg. Bro, like, don't stand on it. You stand on one leg. And like, I know you're a little bit older, but damn, bro. I'm sure that you can still hold onto a rope in one of your legs. Pinning or submitting is better. That's what I would think as well. I mean, you could go the whole like, I never gave up. You know, I passed out briefly, or, you know, something like that, and whatever. Who cares anymore? But I don't know. I mean, I really don't care, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna watch Raw on Monday. I'm not gonna follow through with any of this. I'm probably not gonna watch Crown Jewel either, or report on Crown Jewel. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that'll change, but I really don't care. If I'm being honest, bro, like I don't care. It's been like the greatest feeling in the world. Not sitting there and wasting time on those shows. Am I gonna watch Raw again someday? Yeah, probably someday. You know, I was thinking about doing a watch along, because the watch along for SmackDown was actually really enjoyable, and we were just kind of hanging out. But then I remembered that we do AOW Underground, and I'm trying to get that back up. It's definitely not going to be up on Monday because I have a million other things to do, but soon. We'll get back to AOW Underground soon. We'll get back to FFPW soon as well, and I think I'm going to start something else as well. Yeah, I don't know. What's the schedule for AEW? They have AEW Dark Elevation on Mondays, Dark on Tuesdays, Dynamite on Wednesdays, and Rampage on Friday. And then All Out is on the September 5th. AEW Underground on Thursday nights? I mean, maybe, but man, I don't know if I want to sit there for 3 hours and watch Raw. I'm being honest. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe one time we'll try it and we'll just kind of hang out and see. The thing that sucks is that it's like right in the middle of my day. If I could watch it, like if I was on the East Coast, it would be perfect and I wouldn't mind. But like it's right in the middle of my day. So I have to like, if I do that, I can't do anything else for the other things that I do. So it kind of like, it makes it so I can't work on other things. Is Brock just there for Crown Jewel? I'm not sure. Probably not. I'm still hopeful that he will take on Bobby Lashley. Hopefully he sticks around for Survivor Series or something like that. How would I book the run for Priest? I don't know, honestly, because I don't know who's on Raw. I don't know who's doing what. I would have him be a dominant champion, though. I think something right now that WWE is missing is the prestige on their championships. A lot of their championships just are meh, and they just get passed around. I mean, if you remember, I don't remember exactly when it was, but Shinsuke Nakamura was already Intercontinental Champion. He just kind of held it. He didn't really do anything with it. There wasn't anything going on. So, from what I understand, it seems like Sheamus has done okay with the United States Championship. So, but I don't know. Can I do a chill stream sometime? What do you mean by chill? Like just not talking about it like a wrestling show, just kind of hanging out, or what? I do Probably probably won't do them this weekend since we have all of these. But I've been doing gaming streams on the Phantom Spec channel that are chill. They're later at night for sure. But I usually start about like 10 p.m., 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But yeah, I'm just typically hanging out playing Pokemon Unite of all games. Pokemon Unite. It's a lot of fun, actually. It's a lot of fun. And I plan on playing one of the Assassin's Creed games or something like that. Maybe some long single player games. So yeah, those will be on the Phantom Spec channel. They won't be here. This channel is only going to be pure wrestling. And I think starting maybe Monday, we're gonna have shorter videos on here as well. I want to talk about Adam Cole, and you know, I see a lot of people who do like news things, and I don't really want to do. I don't know. Maybe I'll try it and see what happens. But for me, I feel like it'd be more useful to do shorter videos, like maybe 5 minutes or something, 10 minutes, whatever it is, 3 minutes, whatever it is. Like, I mean, as long as you like, I don't want to over talk about a subject, essentially. So like, I don't want to talk about Adam Cole for 10 minutes just because I feel like I need to talk about Adam Cole for 10 minutes. But I do want to talk about Adam Cole and what's next for that. And I feel like it'd be better to, if there's something that someone wants to hear, you know, I don't want to have like a 2-hour news show where I'm talking about Adam Cole and then NXT and then the changes for NXT and then the releases and like CM Punk's return. Like, I don't want to have someone try to navigate through 2 hours to try to find what it is they want to watch. And I certainly don't want to navigate and put timestamps for everything for things that people want to watch. So I think doing like quick little videos where it's like, hey, this is only Adam Cole. This is only about what the changes are for NXT. This is all the stuff about CM Punk's return and what we know and what we don't know and blah, 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 blah. And Arthur Ashe Stadium and Bryan Danielson returning. And apparently Bray Wyatt is going to be signing with AEW. It's not official, but it is pretty much official without it being as official as it can. So I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff to do and talk about. And I want to start getting that going over here. So always wrestling, 100% wrestling topics here. That's it. That's all this will ever be. Other things will always be on the Phantom Spec channel. So any sort of watch alongs, any sort of gaming, any sort of like hanging out, like any sort of stuff like that will always be over there. I could try to have guests on the channel. Yeah, maybe at some point, you know, I have an idea for a show that I don't think I'd want to do it myself. I think I'd probably want to be I'd want to be the host of it and have 2 other people with me. I don't want to talk about it because I don't want someone else to do it and steal it from me. But it's an idea that I have. I mean, it's a show that's been done already, but not for wrestling, I guess. So it's not, I don't know, but I don't want to give the idea to anyone else because I want it. It's mine. Okay. I want to be the host of it. Do a podcast. Yeah. So that's essentially what the quick little videos will be. I thought about, I mean, we're like way off subject now from SummerSlam, but I've thought about trying to do, you know, like everyone does interviews with wrestlers, and I have no interest in interviewing wrestlers because it's just not something that I do or I've ever done or ever really wanted to do. I don't know. I don't want to sit there and try to ask questions and try to navigate through the 30th time that someone has asked them the same question. Like, that's not really what I want to do, but I think it'd be really cool at some point if I could figure out a really unique way to interact with wrestlers that's not interviews. You know, for example, like Hot Ones. If you guys are familiar with Hot Ones, it's kind of like an interview, but they have them eating hot wings, and it's not to that degree. Like, I don't want people to be eating food or anything like that, but just something a little bit different, you know, like maybe playing a game with a wrestler or something, you know, maybe just wrestlers that are into gaming, just play a game with them for 20 minutes, chat with them. Maybe not have an interview with wrestlers, but maybe just chat, like literally just chatting about nothing related to wrestling, nothing. Just like, what's up, man? Like, what do you like to do? You like to play video games? What video games do you like to play? You know, just like more like, instead of being like the wrestler, you know, it'd be like the person. Because for me, it's a lot easier for me to get into the people than it is the wrestlers. And there's a lot of people that I've gotten into in WWE specifically from their TV shows that have absolutely nothing to do with wrestling. So, for example, They had that WWE Swerve show, which was kind of like PG Jackass, you know, where they kind of did pranks on people and stuff like that. There's one where they have Fandango and Heath Slater and they're running a coffee shop, and it was hilarious. It's just funny to see them doing their own thing like that and just being funny. Like I find that very interesting to watch as a person. And I think if you could figure out a way to interact with wrestlers, maybe established wrestlers or up and coming wrestlers, indie talent, whatever it is, if you could find out a way to interact with them in a unique situation where it's not so cut and dry of like, when did you start? Oh, wait, hold on. When did you start watching wrestling? When did you know that you wanted to be a wrestler? What's your favorite finishing move? Who is your favorite wrestler? Who is your dream opponent that is currently wrestling? Who is your dream opponent that is not currently wrestling? Like, I don't know, something like that. It's not interesting to me, but, you know, other things. One of the other things, Ride Along. There's an episode of Ride Along that is Fandango and Tyler Breeze in one car, and then Rusev and Lana in the other car. And Rusev and Lana, they're both in the parking lot. They're both getting their cars ready to leave. And Rusev, he doesn't have a shirt on. Fandango and Tyler Breeze, they come up to the window and they're like acting like they're police or whatever it is that they're doing. And they're like, you can't be driving without a shirt on. It's illegal to drive without a shirt. I'm going to have to fine you for driving without a shirt. You can't be doing that. And then Rusev looks over at him and he goes, you're not wearing a shirt either, or whatever. And then they just leave. Like, I thought that was hilarious. And it's like just stupid little things like that I find really enjoyable. And I feel like it helps you connect with someone else. So in the future, at some point, I don't know what that looks like or what, but I think it would be cool if you could somehow interact with someone that's a wrestler that's not so cut and dry and so, I don't want to say boring, because I don't think interviews are boring. I like borings, but for me, like, I feel like it'd be more interesting if you could figure out a different way to navigate through that and just find different ways to bring things out of people. That's all. Why do you suck? Punk needs a podcast. Oof. Man, people are about to be real mad all the time for the things that Punk says. It's gonna be crazy. People are already pissed off that he said he left wrestling in 2013 or whatever and came back in 2021. No one cares about that shit. People want to hear what WWE guys think about AEW and vice versa. I mean, people aren't allowed to speak freely on stuff like that. So that's probably not going to happen, but I don't know. You know, it's just a cool idea. Maybe it's not even a cool idea. Maybe it's trash. I don't know. It's just an idea that I had floating around in my head. I don't know if it would work. I don't know if it'd be interesting. I don't know if I'd be the person to do it. Maybe I'm not the person to do it. I do plan on expanding at some point, but right now I'm working on a couple other things that I feel like are more important. So it was fun hanging out here tonight. Post show, I gotta go sleep, but I'll be back for your takeover post show tomorrow. Thank you so much, man, Elver. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. Have a good rest of your night. Thank you for tuning in. But yeah, let's get through a couple more things here, and then we'll wrap it up. There's not that much to talk about earlier on from the show. I don't want to sit here and just be negative and annoying. So Marcelo says, do you reckon they will build up Bryan's debut like Punk for New Year's show? Yeah. I do. I think that we haven't seen anything about Punk about Bryan, because Punk was in the works, and I don't think like they probably didn't want to do both at the same time. So I'm assuming that stuff's going to start happening pretty soon. We'll probably see a lot of Bryan Danielson stuff going on. What do you think of Brock Lesnar being back with Paul Heyman on Roman's side? I think it's interesting. Wrestling fans are the worst. Not take wrestling for what it is. It's not Oscar-winning acting performances, and it's not MVP athletically Super Bowl performances. Take it for what it is. I mean, everyone has their own interests, right? Some people, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of different styles of wrestling. There's a lot of different variations and sizes of people wrestling. So like, there's a lot of people that believe that a wrestler only looks like Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. If you're not like cut like that, then you're not a wrestler. There's a lot of people that will look at someone like Finn Balor and they're like, this guy's not a wrestler. He's too small. And Adam Cole, he's too small. Adam Cole is, in my opinion, one of the best wrestlers in the world. So like, it's hard to please everyone, and not everyone likes like lucha style of wrestling. A lot of people like, more like old school WWE wrestling, or just even today's WWE wrestling. Some people don't like a lot of the false finishes. Some people don't like a lot of the things like that. And it's just, you're never going to please everyone. You're not. But for me, like, I don't think that there's a size or shape. I think you could be 3 feet tall and 500 pounds and be a wrestler. I mean, if you could wrestle, you can wrestle. You could be 8 feet tall, 145 pounds. I don't know. I don't know what that would look like. I don't know what either one of those would look like on an actual person, but like, I don't care. Like, if you can wrestle, then you can wrestle. It doesn't matter to me. And I think that obviously different match types fit different sorts of people. Like, I don't want to see someone like Brock Lesnar doing crazy lucha things, flying around all over the place. I like Brock Lesnar style for Brock Lesnar. I like Lucha Bro style for Lucha Bros, and all that stuff. I think there's a time and a place for everything. And I think if every single show, like, could you imagine if you had a 3-hour episode of Raw and you had like 14 Brock Lesnars, all with just like different gimmicks? Like, some of them had pants on, some of them had panties on, some of them had hair, some of them were bald. Like, you just had like 14 different versions of Brock Lesnar, all working the same style, all doing the same thing. Like, that show would be so boring. To me, I like the variety. I like the small guys. I like the big guys. I like the normal size guys, the medium guys, the guys that are like ungodly ripped, like Finn Balor's shit's crazy. Like, I like all that stuff. I think the variety is what makes it interesting to me. People say I messed up, but I died and cracked up so hard when Bianca was about to cry after losing. That sucked, man. Is the whiteboard still around? Yes. Today's whiteboard. This is the whiteboard I've been rocking today. This is my Summerslam sign. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it. So Becky won the title. Are you happy she returned? Yeah, I'm very happy that she returned. I'm very disappointed that she squashed her in 25 seconds. I don't understand what the point of that was. If the point is to turn Bianca Belair heel, I think you could have done it in a different way. I think you could. And I think it would have made Becky Lynch's return more enjoyable, because now you have people like me who are very excited about seeing Becky Lynch return. I was huge in like the man moment and all that stuff building into it. I've been a fan of Becky Lynch for a long time. I've always wanted to see her get this push that she got before with the man gimmick and all that sort of stuff. So it's very happy for me to see her back, but it's frustrating to see people invest their time into Bianca Belair and see her lose in 25 seconds. It's frustrating. So you take away from that moment, right? Which I think it sucks. I think it sucks. You feel like Paul's been playing Roman this whole time and he will turn on him for Brock? Maybe. It's possible. But I think Brock is fine without Roman. I think he'll be fine. Okay, so let's run through some of this other stuff here really quick. This whole Miz and John Morrison segment, I don't even know why this was a part of it. This was a complete waste of time. You could have given us more match time in something else. It got anything but anything other than Alexa Bliss and Eva Marie. You could have added time to anything else. It just didn't feel like that served a purpose for anything, to be honest. So I'm not quite sure why that was the thing that happened. Let's see here. Shout out to Xavier Woods for that Scott Hall Razor Ramon cosplay. It looked amazing. I loved every second of it. I thought it was really weird that Kofi wasn't there. So I'm gonna fly through some of this stuff. Go ahead and I'll read chat as well as I go through. WWE announced that next year's Money in the Bank will take place in Las Vegas, Nevada at Allegiant Stadium on July 4th weekend of 2022. That is pretty exciting. I am somewhat close to Las Vegas. It's like an hour and a half, 2-hour flight. Maybe go there. I don't know. It might be ungodly expensive during 4th of July weekend. It might be ungodly hot during that time. So everything might be expensive and terrible, but that is pretty close. Pretty close. Hopefully they do the Royal Rumble in Seattle, because man, I want to go to that. Should have been Great American Bash. That is a NXT takeover or NXT gimmick right now. I'm not sure if that's going to change, since who knows what the hell they're doing with NXT. And says, honestly, Bianca is great, but I expected a better reign from her. She didn't live up to expectations half the time she wrestled with Bayley and Carmella. I mean, it's not her fault that there's no one else on the roster. The SmackDown women's roster is literally like Zelina and Carmella. And now Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair. Sasha Banks and Bayley were out. Do you see that Brock Lesnar destroyed Cena when SummerSlam went off air? A couple people have said so. I think I saw Sean Ross Sapp tweet it as well, but I haven't been going through Twitter yet. I'm going to have to spend a bunch of time going over all the posts and stuff and replying to people and all that stuff. What happened to Toni Storm? I have no idea, man. That's a really good question. Toni Storm made her debut and she hasn't returned since, which is very weird. And I just want to remind everyone that this Brood entrance was absolutely amazing. They did the fire gimmick. They did everything. Oh, it was so good. It was perfect. Absolutely perfect. You know what? Some would say that it was such good shit. Oh, that sounds kind of weird. It sounds like too much echo. That was such good shit. Yeah, there we go. Too much echo. Okay, sounds good. Let's see here. The women's triple threat match for the Raw Women's Championship. Good match overall, I would say, but wrong outcome, man. Wrong outcome. I thought this match was interesting. How long was this? This guy, 13 minutes and 3 seconds. Overall, I thought it was enjoyable. I would not have put the strap on Charlotte Flair. It doesn't make sense. They're just constantly just trying to pad her record. You know what's something that would be very interesting? Maybe I'll be the one to do it, is going through Charlotte's title reigns and counting all the days. Because to me, I feel like we've had this discussion on post show before. I don't know who was there for it, so I guess I'll mention it again. The question that I had asked was, what is more important to you? Or what do you feel is more important? Better yet, is it more important, or is it more impressive? I guess I'll use the word impressive. Is it more impressive if Charlotte has 5 title reigns, and between all 5 of those reigns, you can mix up the days however you want. She has a combined of 100 days as a reigning champion, 100 days as champion through 5 different title reigns? Or is it more valuable that one person they've won championship, but they've held the title for, we'll make it like 150 days. So it's somewhat close, right? To me, it feels like being a champion for 150 days is way more valuable than being a 5-time champion that doesn't even have the combined time of that. So it's like Charlotte literally is winning championships and just losing them like the next day. Nah, just one, because you still lost the title 5 times. Yeah, which I guess is something to be brought up as well, is that like you did lose 5 times as well, or 4 times, I guess. The longer you hold the title, the better. Yeah, they've been doing it a little bit recently with Roman Reigns. They mentioned it tonight. I don't know how often they mention it with other people, but I feel like days are more valuable. And it seems so stupid to be like, well, first of all, it's stupid to remove her 2 title reigns or whatever from NXT. Like, why? They used them before. That was never a problem before. Now all of a sudden it is, because they're developmental again all of a sudden. So I don't know. That was really weird to me. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Warrior says holding the championship longer is way more impressive. Just look at Roman. Can you honestly remember any of his other reigns the same way this current reign will be remembered? No. Nope. And Roman Reigns is in a league of his own. And I think, like I've talked about this a lot as well, is that like people who are on a show, they don't always necessarily need to be wrestling. And they have like the perfect formula for Roman. Like, yeah, I get that sometimes some people are a little bit bored by the same song and dance on the promos and stuff like that, but he's featured and he's not wrestling all the time. So you know that when you get this Roman Reigns match tonight, how long was it? Roman Reigns versus John Cena was 23 minutes. This was special. You want to know the last time that Roman Reigns wrestled? Let's look. Roman Reigns does not wrestle very often. 8:15. This is a dark match, isn't it? Yeah. How do we remove? We want to TV only. So, okay. So today is August 21st. The last time that Roman Reigns wrestled was July 18th against Edge. He beat Edge in a 33-minute match. Before that was a couple days before on SmackDown, which would be July 16th. And then the time before that was June 18th. And then May 16th, April 30th, April 11th, March 21st, February 21st, January 31st, like December 22nd. Like, do you see how far these are spaced out? It's very important. It's very important. You don't need to have Roman Reigns wrestling people every single week. You don't need to have him squashing people. This is how you make him feel important. And this is one of the big things that I talked about a long time ago with NXT. And that's how NXT made certain people feel important, because your Tommaso Ciampa was not wrestling every week. Velveteen Dream was not wrestling every week. Johnny Gargano, Aleister Black, like when those guys showed up, maybe one of them showed up on a show to face someone who maybe was up and coming, or maybe one of them were feuding with each other. Adam Cole, the Undisputed Era, another one. So, you know, you maybe had one of those guys on the show, and then the pay-per-view was stacked and loaded with them. And you knew that that was a special moment because you know that you're seeing all these guys. Main roster WWE needs to get that into their brains, because they're just doing the same rematches over and over again. It's not helping anyone. The Drew McIntyre stuff, he was way overexposed. He had way too many matches. He was featured way too often in matches, and it just didn't work. AJ says, I acknowledge Roman and as a Brock Lesnar wannabe. Oof, ouch. Right in the feels. Pat on your back says, longer reign with fewer matches make the title champion special. Yes. Roman is the perfect way to book a champion. He doesn't have to be the typical fighting champion and wrestle every week, but he also doesn't need to be a Lesnar and not even be there. Yeah, I think it's important. You can go a long way with a little bit. And even if you have someone like a Lesnar who, like, let's say he's going to work twice a month, right? You can, if you have something in order, right? You could film something with him and just put it on the screen. Like a little 2-minute thing. Like, someone doesn't have to be featured every week. And you could certainly not feature someone on your TV show at all and just kind of play to them. They did that on Dynamite with Malachi Black. You know, where they didn't show Malachi Black whatsoever. They did a throwback of him kicking off Cody and Arn's head. And then they had a match announcement with Brock Anderson, Arn Anderson's son, against Malachi Black. So the guy wasn't even there, but they're still hyping him up. They're showing him that he's involved in a thing, and that's important. It's important. It all plays. I just really wish that I really wish the WWE would take the Roman Reigns formula and fit it with everyone else, because they make everything else so overcomplicated and it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. Too many cooks in the kitchen, man. Too many cooks in the kitchen. Ashley says nobody's even in the same league as Roman. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. It is crazy right now. Mian says, I'm happy that Damian Priest won the US title. He definitely deserves it. Yes. Damian Priest is great. He has an awesome win-loss record as well. I think we talked about this women's match enough. Let's get on. Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal. 4 minutes, 38 seconds. Drew McIntyre defeats Jinder Mahal. Another short match. I don't know what's going on with this. I've seen that he's been like wrestling Vanky and Sheer? Shanky and Veer. Shanky and Veer, he's been like wrestling them, squashing them in like handicap matches and doing all sorts of weird stuff. Like, that's completely unnecessary as well. If I'm Booker Man 5000, I would have put Drew McIntyre a feud with Jinder Mahal during his WWE Championship reign. That would have made a lot more sense to me. Could have happened on Raw. Yeah, this was a typical Raw match. This could have happened on Raw. Completely skipped that match. Do not care for the feud whatsoever. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. And it seems weird too, right? Like, you invest weeks and weeks into this feud, building up to this, and then you give it 4 minutes. I don't know, right? Like, I've always said this. I'm a person of the quality, not quantity. I would rather have four matches on a pay-per-view, 3 matches on a pay-per-view, than have 13 matches and have them all kind of be trash except like 1 or 2. And I think tonight's show is a prime example of that. Most of this stuff was completely unnecessary. And only a couple of these matches felt like a pay-per-view. And they really ruined that as well. Like, if this week on Friday or Friday Night SmackDown, if they run back Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair, it takes away everything from this pay-per-view. I don't get it. Sucks because it could have been a big match. Yeah, it could have. It really could have. We need Heath Slater so we can get a proper 3MB feud. That'd be crazy. Did Drew's sword even play a part in the match? I mean, that's what they've been feuding over. I don't think so, no. But after the match, Shanky and Veer came out to help attack Jinder Mahal, and he ended up, or sorry, not Jinder Mahal, Drew McIntyre, and he grabbed the sword and kind of like fought him off, like he was gonna murderize him or something. So that was pretty crazy. But that was about it. So I don't even. Okay, enough of that. Next up, WWE announced that Extreme Rules is returning Sunday, September 26th, and it still has the Hardy Boys theme on it. So like a lime green with a purple. I have no idea why it's not. It doesn't have that horror show or whatever at Extreme Rules on it, thank God, but it is still that colorway. They also, before that, they announced Crown Jewel will be returning. This is the Saudi pay-per-view event, and that will be coming sometime in October. They did not give a date for that. And if rumors are correct, there's supposed to be a King of the Ring going on around that time as well. And the finals of King and Queen of the Ring is supposed to be at Crown Jewel. So I guess we'll kind of see how that goes. That's going to be it for the night. Always pleasure attending. Thank you, Ian. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you being here for it. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for NXT TakeOver as well. Can we see Jeff at Extreme Rules? Yeah, that'd be crazy. Maybe they'll have Jeff and Cross still feuding for Extreme Rules. Saudi shows are never good. Yeah, I don't really plan on watching it, to be honest with you. Kind of like want to do that whole boycott it thing because it's nonsense. Jeff versus Cross at ER. It wouldn't surprise me. Versus non-NXT champion. Okay. All right. I need to skip through these here. Okay. This one I do have a couple things to talk about. Becky Lynch defeats Bianca Belair to become the new SmackDown Women's Champion. This match, you guessed it, 25 seconds long. 25 seconds. 25 seconds, man. Okay, so here's the problem. Like I had said earlier, I can't remember if I said this here or if I said it on the watch along or whatever. Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks were supposed to be at house shows this week. They didn't appear at both, two of them. They didn't appear at two of them. And so a lot of people started speculating, like, is there something going on? Is something wrong? What's the deal, right? What's the deal? What's going on with this? And then, you know, Friday came along. They're still advertising the match. They're still making sure that everything's good. Bianca Belair is cutting a promo on Sasha Banks, and WWE is promoting this match like it's happening. So cool. Bianca Belair was there. Sasha Banks was not in the building for SmackDown. Cool. Whatever. Maybe something came up. Today, they're hyping it up. I don't know if they I can only assume that they hyped it up on the pre-show, the kickoff show, whatever it is. They do a whole video package about Bianca Belair taking on Sasha Banks. About how important it is. About how it's a huge WrestleMania rematch. It's a big deal. This is a big deal. Everyone's tuning in for this. It's a huge moment. Bianca Belair comes out champion first, which kind of tells you there's a problem. Even though they did that multiple times tonight, which was really, really weird. But Bianca Belair is out in the middle of the ring, ready to get this match on with Sasha Banks. And whoever it was it Greg Hamilton? He was like, unfortunately, I have to tell you that Sasha Banks is not able to compete tonight. So filling in for her is the most beautiful girl in the world, Carmella. Okay. So what breaking news happened in the 1-2 minutes that Bianca Belair was walking from the backstage area gorilla to the ring? Right? Because realistically, that's the only time frame that you have to not let other people know what's going on. That they just piped in like, oh, Greg Hamilton, hello, Earth to you. Sasha Banks isn't coming out. It's Carmella instead. Announce her. That was really annoying. To continuously hype something up that you know damn well is not going to happen. And there's a complete difference between hyping something up that you're going to change because you are going to change it for a very specific storyline reason, and changing them because shit went down and you just got to change it. They did the exact same thing for Roman Reigns versus Goldberg for WrestleMania, and everyone knew what was going on. and everyone knew that that match wasn't going to be happening. It wasn't going to be going down. And Triple H, Papa H, this man's doing a media call, and people are like, bro, why have you guys not told people that this match is not happening? You do realize, right, that like some people buy tickets for specific things. For me, like I personally, like I bought tickets to All Out because I thought the Hangman Adam Page was going to dethrone Kenny Omega. That's one of the big reasons why I wanted to go. If I would have known beforehand, I probably wouldn't have gone to that event, and I would have saved, and I probably would have gone to St. Louis, whatever. But that's on me, right? Because nothing was announced, and it's fine because I'm still gonna have a great time, and all it looks great. But people buy tickets for shows for specific reasons, and when we're talking about like we live, in a world today where there's always this discussion going on of people wanting to see people that look like them doing certain things. And that was a huge thing for WrestleMania, right? Like having two strong black women wrestle for a championship in a main event, like that's huge, right? So a lot of people bought tickets to see that for those very specific reasons. And they're running this match back here on that. And I can only imagine that a bunch of people paid in to see this match for that specific reason, and they knew that it wasn't happening. That's frustrating to me. Like I don't get how you can do that as a company. I would be very upset if that is the reason why I went to a show. Be very upset about that. And you know damn well that this match isn't happening. And you might be able to say that they were trying to hold out or something. To see like hopefully it got better or whatever the situation was. I don't know. I can't tell you. But it's very frustrating to know that something is not going to happen and you just drive through anyways and just go forward without giving a care in the world. And this is one of the reasons why people, like I always say that it's watching WWE sometimes is a real insult to your intelligence, because they just don't care. They just feel like they can change anything and do whatever they want without any discussion about it. Like they just took Scarlett away from Karrion Kross for no reason. No reason whatsoever. No explanation. Nothing. Like you couldn't have someone beat down Scarlett, or you couldn't have her be like, well, hey, WWE, Vince McMahon or Adam and Pierce, he's very interested in Karrion Kross, but he wants to bring Kross up to the main roster, but he has no interest in Scarlett. He does nothing for her, so she has to stay in NXT. That's fine. That's a little explanation, right? Makes a lot of sense. I mean, hell, on NXT, we had Keith Lee teaming up with Mia Yim. I can't remember who they were fighting. Maybe Johnny and Candice, right? Girlfriend, boyfriend, united as one to take on someone. And then, bro, like Keith Lee gets called up, Mia Yim gets called up, and Mia Yim is a part of Retribution as Reckoning, and they're beating up Keith Lee. What? For what? Like, okay, you can make the argument that Keith Lee doesn't know that Mia Yim is his girlfriend, right? Even though you totally can tell. But Mia Yim knows that she's beating up her boyfriend. This is canon in WWE. We've seen this play out on TV. Like that stuff drives me insane. It drives me nuts. And AEW does it with one thing, and it's not as frustrating, but it's pretty frustrating. And it's with other promotions championships. It's really weird to me that Jon Moxley was the United States champion, the IWGP United States champion, and he had it for a week and defended it, and then it was just gone. And then he had it for a week, he defended it, and then it was gone. Like he was still the champion at the time, but he just wasn't carrying it around. So then he had this match with Lance Archer for the IWGP United States Championship. Lance Archer wins it. It's a huge deal. It's the main event of the show. And then Lance Archer goes to a New Japan event and loses to Tanahashi. And there's going to be no explanation of where that belt came from. None whatsoever. It's weird. It's weird. That stuff weirds me out. I don't understand. I don't understand why they do it. I don't get it. They can't just tell you, or they can't just like flash back to it, or I don't know if it's maybe that, I think AEW had this problem like early on as well. Like at the first Double or Nothing, I was there, and they debuted Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. No one knew who they were. I can't remember who they attacked. Maybe it was the Young Bucks or the Elite or something like that. It was just them with a bunch of their minions though, and they just beat them up. And the crowd was chanting, "Who are you?" They don't know. So I think maybe AEW just assumes that their fan base is just like hardcore wrestling fans, and that they're just they're watching everything and they're in the know of everything. Because we also got a Wardlow teaser for that as well, and I'm not sure who he was before then, so I don't know. That's frustrating for AEW, but this WWE stuff is next level crazy. To hype up a match for shows and for a pay-per-view, and to sell a pay-per-view based off of a match like this and know damn well that you're not delivering it is crazy. Absolutely crazy. And I think all of that affects Becky Lynch's return. I do. Because people are pissed off that this match isn't happening. Then people are pissed off that this match is happening, but it's with Carmella instead. And then Becky Lynch returns and everyone's crazy and they're like, you know what? Whatever. It's cool. It's Becky Lynch. Like, we're excited to see her back. And then Bianca Belair gets squashed. And now we're here where we're like, okay, now I'm kind of pissed because Bianca Belair lost. And I've invested all my time in her. And now they're just going to have her lose in 20 seconds for no reason. It's weird. And then they did this weird ass thing with Shinsuke Nakamura, Rick Boogs, and Pat McAfee. Like, they just had him come out here and like dance. Why? It's filler, dude. Like, why is this filler content on the show? I don't get it. Did Daniel Bryan have contract signing with AEW? Supposedly Daniel Bryan is actually signed to AEW right now. Hopefully. I'm pretty sure that's the rumor. So he should be debuting on their like New York Super Show that is at Arthur Ashe Stadium. So I would expect to see some clues towards that, unless they're just going to try to keep it a complete secret, which would be crazy. And Sean says worst move of tonight's SummerSlam was Bianca match. Yeah, it was crazy, dude. Oh yeah, the Alexa Bliss match was crazy too. Yeah, that's crazy. Maury says all that build up, making her a dominant champ for months, a Mania event, the mainstream media attention just to squash her in less than 30 seconds, and they wonder why we lack stars. Yeah, it's crazy, dude, isn't it? It's crazy. That with like the whole Rolling Loud thing, like that whole Rolling Loud thing had to have been because of Bianca Belair. It had to have been. And I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. And like that's just why like it bothers me, and I feel like it's really hard to invest in people in WWE because they just don't know what they're doing. They have no long-term plans in sight. Like they're hot-shotting everything that they do. It's crazy to me. Bibba says Piper is back. Did she change her name back to Piper Niven? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I can't do Dewdrop. Why is that a thing? Like I think it would have been fine if it was like a Britt Baker thing where she's like, and I can't ever remember what her actual name is. It's Reba, a rebel. I can't remember what her actual name is. You could do something like that where they're like, hey, this is Dewdrop. And she's like, no, I'm Piper Niven. And then, you know, she tried to do that. She was like, but she was like, oh, you know, like, let the people announce her as Piper. Or, you know, like even with Britt Baker, they do the Reba or Rebel, not Reba, or Reba, not Rebel, whatever it is. Like, that's fine. Because then it's just Eva Marie being an asshole, right? Rebel, not Reba. Okay, Rebel. I always forget. I'm gonna forget again, but yeah. Okay, next up we had the Usos defending their SmackDown Tag Team Championships against the Mysterios, and they retained them. They won. This match was good. I enjoyed it. I don't know if I would say the same thing if I had been watching this for the past 8 weeks play out on WWE TV. This match happened on it was the Money in the Bank pre-show, wasn't it? That's where they took the titles from them. They've been feuding every week ever since in some sort of variation match, and they've had the same finishes as well, which is crazy. Ooh, I'm not gonna get too excited about Damian because I'm scared they're gonna bury him. You never know. You never know, man. Two teams need to stay far away from each other. There's not that many teams on SmackDown, is there? Seems like SmackDown has a pretty limited roster for things. It's crazy. They also showed a teaser of WWE 2K22. It hits different. This game will be out in March of 2022. Apparently some delays going on for this. I saw some tweets earlier from someone who's a content creator, YouTuber, that was saying that they have worked closely with them and that the releases, well, so apparently they were already kind of set back. with things. The game was supposed to be out in October of this year. And I think that's when they released the last one as well, sometime around October. So that's when the game was supposed to come out, according to this person. Remember, this is just according to some guy who says has a source, right? So take it as you will, however you want. He says that it was tight schedule. They already wanted it delayed just because they were having issues, and that it was supposed to come out in October. And all of the releases really threw a wrench into everything that they were doing, caused a bunch of problems. I'm assuming that some of those people that got released were probably involved in some sort of storyline in the My Career mode, or some sort of towers, some sort of game mode that they're going to be doing. So a lot of stuff has to be rewritten. A lot of people have to be taken out of things, and people have to be added in. So there's a lot going on for 2K22, and I feel really bad for 2K. I'm not gonna lie. It always seems like they're getting the shit end of the stick from WWE. It seems like the communication is not really there. It seems like there's a really big lack of communication, or maybe it's just the WWE, like I've been saying, they act so fast, where they're just on like a day-by-day schedule that they can't possibly tell 2K what they're doing or in advance. Like, they have a 2K game coming out, and then the championship title belts change, and they're not in the game. The stages change, the sets change, they're not in the game. What was it? Was it 2K? I think it was 2K19, right? Where the bar was already established on TV. They were a tag team. But in 2K19, when it came out, they were still like, they were the bar, but they were in that stage where they were like fighting each other. They weren't a united front really yet. So like their winning animation is them like battling each other, doing the arm raising thing. And then in 2K20, when it came out, the bar was the bar that it was when 2K19 came out, but they had disbanded. They were no longer a group anymore. So it's like, man, like that stuff is just so crazy to me, how so far off they are. And there's no updates for anything to change any of that. And the superstars are crazy. Like, some of them are there, blah, 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 blah. Some people have completely new gimmicks that are going on. And it's just, I don't know. It just blows my mind that I feel bad for them. I do. All right. Before that, Damian Priest taking on Sheamus for the United States Championship, and Damian Priest dethrones Sheamus. This was a good match. I enjoyed this match. It was very good. I'm very happy for Damian Priest. The guy's very talented. He has a really good win-loss record right now. I don't know if I'd say they've been doing good with him, because he's been fighting John Morrison and The Miz since like February, and it's August. It's almost September now, so that's pretty crazy. We all know how 2K20 ended up. Yeah, it was crazy, right? Not very good. That hip bump he took on the dive outside made me cringe. Dude, that was crazy. Because, okay, so he did that, landed like on his back or his hip, whatever it is, I don't know. Landed on his back. I'll say back because that's what it looked like to me. Landed on his back, and he gets up, and he's like trying to stand up, and he's like grasping his lower back. It looked like he wasn't trying to sell it, but it looked like he tried to stand up, but he like had trouble to and had to pause for a second. And then right after that, they led that into Sheamus throwing him into the turnbuckle on his back and dropping him. And I'm like, oh man, I'm like, oh damn, that does not look good, man. That does not look good. I'm the only one who prefers Damian Priest as a heel. I don't mind. I think he's good at what he does. I think it's kind of weird. I think like as an adult or as an older person, I think it's easier to like heels. And I think WWE always really has a problem with booking baby faces. They don't really know what they're doing half the time. And that's probably why we had all that Roman Reigns nonsense for years, because they just couldn't book him as a babyface. They didn't know what they're doing. Guaranteed his first opponents as US champ are Miz and Morrison. Oh god, dude. If John Morrison gets a shot at the Miz, that'd be crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if they run this match back on Raw tomorrow. Or sorry, on Monday. I wouldn't be surprised. We might see a couple of rematches from this pay-per-view. Next up was probably the worst match of the night. This was Alexa Bliss versus Eva Marie. This match lasted 3 minutes and 50 seconds with Alexa Bliss getting the win. And it was weird. Alexa Bliss brought out Lily, her doll, set the doll in the corner of the turnbuckle like she normally does. And then at some point, Alexa was down. Eva Marie went over, got up on the turnbuckle, grabbed Lily, and was like bitch slapping a doll. Like just slapping it in the face back and forth. And Alexa Bliss was like mad about it. and then she hit her with the doll or something like that. And it was just, I just can't believe that they're still doing this stuff with crowds in attendance. I just can't. I can't get over it. It's crazy to me. It's crazy. Like, I cannot believe that they booked Alexa Bliss versus Eva Marie in a match on a pay-per-view with what they said was 51,000 people in attendance. The tickets sold were like 48, I think. So I think they're kind of kayfabing over there, I guess, which is fine. But man, putting that in front of 48,000, 51,000 people is crazy to me. Like, and of course, like, the fans don't want it seems like most people aren't into the Alexa Bliss stuff. Maybe the casuals or like the hardcore WWE fans are, but like your mainstream wrestling fan is not into this stuff. So to put them in there is crazy to me, especially when the fans have been hijacking these matches and chanting, "We want Wyatt back." It doesn't make sense. SummerSlam is a big 4 pay-per-view. This is supposed to be one of the biggest nights in WWE. One of the biggest of the 4 nights in WWE. And this is what they put on the card. Same with WrestleMania 32. Like, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. I could get it with when there's no fans in attendance, but with fans, crazy. Crazy. And that finish to that Fiend, Alexa Bliss, Randy Orton stuff. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Where he says this had no business being on SummerSlam. It was a C-tier pay-per-view with a regular TV match. Yep. Should have been canceled a long time ago. That's one of the things like about WWE now is that there's no shame in trying new things, in my opinion. Trying the magic stuff, do whatever the hell you want. Cool. Like, it may be cool. It may come across great, right? You don't know until you try it. But if you're doing it and it doesn't come across good and it's not working, there's no shame in stopping it, in my opinion, either. Like, you should just cut it. And I don't think something like that needs an explanation either. So if they wanted, they could just cut it dry, or they can just cut it short. Like, imagine if AEW did the Nightmare Collective, and I feel like that ran on way too long. That shit was terrible. The Nightmare Collective is one of the worst things that I've ever seen in my entire life. This is probably actually the worst, but the Nightmare Collective is god awful, man. Cutting off people's hair and smelling it and tasting it or doing all that weird shit, bro. That was terrible, and it lasted way too long. But props to them, because they ended up just shutting it down. And that's what you should do when things aren't working and things aren't connecting. You should just shut them down. There's no shame in that. No shame in that. Literally every single thing that you do in your life is not going to be a banger. You're not going to win 100% of the time. You're just not. Whatever happened to Mel, I have no clue, to be honest. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if she's with the company anymore. She might be. I saw that she was wrestling somewhere a while ago. Morrison versus Jeff should have been in place of Eva. Oh, Cross. You're talking about Cross? Carrying Cross and Jeff? I don't feel like that's on a pay-per-view either. Damn sure Morrison is turning on Miz in a month or two. They should have pulled the trigger on that a long time ago, if you ask me. But yeah, so Eva Marie loses the match, and then Doudrop, can't believe I'm saying that, Piper Niven grabs the mic and says, "And your loser, Eva Marie." Nightmare Collective, question mark? Yeah, it was a stable group, whatever you want to call it, in AEW that they had during their first year. And it was Awesome Kong that led the group, and Brandy Rose was like her manager, but she was like a dark Brandy Rose. Brandy Rhodes, she was like weird. And then Mel, she was a fan in the audience who had longer hair. They had her come up and they shaved her head on TV. And then like Awesome Kong started carrying this like knife with her that was attached to her in like this little satchel. And every time she would beat someone, she would cut off a piece of their hair and like smell it and then like lick it and then like put it in her thing. It was a nightmare. Bro, it was terrible. It was so bad. It was so bad, dude. It was one of the worst things ever. God, I'm so glad they canceled that. Okay. And then the first match of the night was AJ Styles and Omos defending their Raw Tag Team Championships against RK Bro. RK Bro wins this match. Oh yeah, Luther as well. Yeah, Luther was there too. Luther's now with Serpentico, who is super cool, by the way. Serpentico's like mask and his entrance where he like does the Spider-Man thing or whatever and like shoots webs out of his dude. That is so dope. That is so cool. So unique. I love that so much. Hard miss. Yeah, it was not good. And it went on for too long. It went on for a couple weeks, maybe a couple months. But shout out to them for at least canceling it. Like I said, everything that you do is not going to be a winner. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. RK Bro. Randy Orton and Matt Riddle defeat AJ Styles and Omos to open up the show. 7 minutes and 4 seconds. This was a fun little match to kick off the show. It was a little bit shorter than I had anticipated. And I think it was the right call. Giving Randy and Matt Riddle, whatever you want to call them, the tag team championships. They're loved. Matt Riddle is super over. Randy Orton's great. They're great together. Cool moment. Short match. It'll be interesting to see what's next for AJ Styles and Omos, though. You don't like AJ Styles eating all the pins? Yeah, I don't get that either. Maybe they have plans for Omos because he's just a giant. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe he's going to turn on AJ Styles. Maybe there'll be a match there. But from what I understand, Omos is not that great of a wrestler. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't feel like you should be featured in these scenarios if you can't hang. That's all. Especially when you have someone like AJ Styles. Like, I don't know. All of this seems so meaningless. And AJ Styles and Omos being together has been great. I like Omos as a manager more for AJ Styles than I like him as a tag team partner. It would have been really cool to see AJ Styles and Finn Balor team up as a tag team. Maybe that's still possible. Maybe that's possible now that they're not tag team champions anymore. That would be really cool to see. And I think it was AJ who said he wanted to do that with Finn. And he was like, it's up to Finn. And if he comes back to the main roster, like, we should do it. And here he is, and they should do it. Remember when AJ was the most protected guy on Raw until he joined the tag division? Yeah, it was crazy. Like, he hadn't been pinned in like 8 months or something like that. And now he's just losing like crazy. Mansoor and Ali is next in line, I guess. Oh, there you go. Yeah, and then you got T-Bar and Mace, I guess, too. Oof. Man. Crazy. But yeah, that's it. That is it for me, man. I went a little bit over. It's fine. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. Like I said, though, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate all of you for hanging out with me for an hour and 45 minutes. And some of you even longer if you came from the watch along, man. I appreciate all of you guys. It's always a blast. You know, I'm trying to get back in the into the swing of doing this stuff. I took a break for a little bit. But like I said, I want to make some more videos. Topic about Adam Cole. Topic about probably NXT as well. I still feel like there's quite a few things to talk about. Tomorrow will be exactly the same as today. So NXT TakeOver 36 is tomorrow. You can find me on youtube.com/Phantom Spec. I just posted it a couple times in the chat. Make sure to subscribe over there. I will be there tomorrow for a watch along of that. I'm not sure how long it's going to be. Probably like 2 hours or something like that. 3 hours. And then afterwards, I will be here as well. Probably 10 minutes after the show goes off the air, we'll be doing an NXT TakeOver post show as well. We'll be here for probably about an hour or so as well. Should be fun times. And then, yeah, things get back to normal next week. Expectations regarding TakeOver tomorrow. I'm not sure. It looks good. It looks good. I'm curious to see. So I know that TakeOver 36 is going to be good. What I'm curious about is what NXT looks like going forward. That's what I'm interested in. And make sure to be at the watch along tomorrow. Sounds good, man. Sounds good. It's a lot of fun just kind of like hanging out. It's fun. I enjoy it. I enjoyed it for SmackDown. We might have to do it for some other things. I don't want to do it for Dynamite or Rampage because I take the screenshots for them. And it's a lot of work to do all that. But I don't mind for the ones that I can just grab. But yeah, that's it for me. Make sure to subscribe over on the Phantom Spec channel. We'll be doing live streams, some games. If you're into Pokemon Unite, I have a bunch of videos recorded that I'm going to post there. We'll finish the Fire Pro game as well when I get there. So make sure to subscribe over there. I'm trying to get that monetization, man. That sweet 2,000 hours of watch time. Ooh, I think I'm halfway there. Getting close. Cole in or out after tomorrow? I don't know. Hopefully out. That's my guess. But once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate all of you. It's been a pleasure chatting with you on the post show and on the watch alongs. Thank you so much. I can't thank you guys enough, and thank you so much to those of you that super chatted tonight as well. I really appreciate you guys. So yeah, that's gonna do it for me, and I will see you all tomorrow on the Phantom Spec channel for the NXT TakeOver 36 watch along, and then I will see you right back here 10 minutes afterwards for the TakeOver post show. Have a good rest of your night, and once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a good rest of your night. Peace.